Welcome back. We're now in the other room. We ended up having to do this as a two-part video because I was blathering on and on much longer than expected, but that's good. More content. Now, there's a lot going on here. I know there's many layers to this, but starting up top, these are from a company called Gentle Giant, and what they have done is made 12-inch exactly scale reproductions of 5-inch figures that I had back in the 80s at some point, I believe, late 80s, and they're awesome. They are expensive as well. I won't even get into pricing, but some of them I had to pay a pretty penny for in the Star Wars ones. Now the Star Wars ones are the 3 3/4, 4-inch figures reproduced as 12-inch figures, and they're exact replicas. The company scanned, I think, the molds and original figures and 3D printed, the exact replicas. They even come in sets of, for instance, these are 3. You have the Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, and that guy, the General, I believe. Those you could get as a set originally in the smaller figures, and I should have pulled them out, but I actually have the original smaller sets. And while you're taking a look at those, I'm going to pull out. Nah, never mind. But trust me, I have the original smaller figures of that. It looks really cool together. Coming back up, now these are original vintage Shogun Warriors. Now I noticed a missing fist, so that's somewhere on the floor behind all of this. But I do have it. These I never had when I was a kid. These are not my original figures, but I bought them probably in the mid-2000s. Because I could, and I always wanted them, but they were real expensive when I was a kid. My Godzilla was also, these are the Mattel Shogun Warriors. They're not their actual Japanese ones, but these were produced in the US in the 70s, late 70s. And it was from some of the original, manga that existed. And they're just great. They're very colorful. The style is so different from classic American figures. And then going to the left is the newer version of Godzilla. These are made by Super 7, and they are pretty faithful reproductions. I have not opened that box, it's sealed, so the color looks definitely different, and the tongue is blue. On the original, the tongue is red, and there's a lever in the back of the head that extends the tongue out, and also his fist shoots off, and probably choked the child at some point. Now, up high behind these are, I have more Shogun Warrior figures, but the boxes are blocked. I can move this out of the way, for instance. That's a Voltron Shogun Warrior. So they've done some crossovers with other genres for the new Shogun Warriors, and of course, I had to get the Star Wars one, so that's a Shadow Trooper Shogun Warrior. Now, I'm not going to keep pulling boxes down, but I also have the regular Stormtrooper Boba Fett as a Shogun Warrior, and also the prototype Boba Fett Shogun Warrior. Now, people not into Star Wars figures, to summarize, the prototype figures were very rare collectibles because they were the actual prototype for the action figure, and they were cast all one color usually, because it was cheaper. And the white one was very collectible, so this is a reproduction of the white. It's sort of a inception of jokes for collectors. These in my hand, these are modern 12-inch Marvel Legends. I have a few in some of these boxes down here, so those will definitely be some unboxing videos that I look forward to doing. And right now I have the also Iron Man and the classic Spider-Man. These other Voltron figures. Now this is from the classic cartoon, and this is the Black Lion, you know, which makes up the torso and head when assembled. That's also the Black Lion from the newer Netflix series, and I do have both full sets of lions from both series, the old and the new. So there are some differences with the design, obviously, but the new cartoon looks pretty good, and you know, as good as the original, which, if you're not a fan, doesn't mean much. But I enjoyed watching them. After the Voltrons are some of the smaller Marvel Legends. I like the 12-inch. I prefer them, but I do have a few sets of, I guess these would be considered 6-inch, and they're very similar in quality to like the Star Wars Black series, so they're very detailed. They usually come with extra hands, and you know, Cyclops has a lot of fists, and Juggernaut, one of my favorite characters. And then from a different series but similar is a John Wick figure I picked up the other day, just because it was a John Wick figure, and it comes with a poor little dog. We also have more Marvel Legends. You probably won't see them real well, they're high up, but those are more of the 6-inch ones. And the second shelf is Build-A-Figure set. So each action figure comes with one body part for a complete figure. So when you have all of them, you can then assemble another figure. So that one makes a Juggernaut that's pretty large. And then beneath that, there's one of the first runs of the Spider-Man series with a few different Spider-Man variants. Going to the right, we have, these are also Jack specific, but they're 48-inch figures. So I have the Darth Vader and the Trooper, a few different Star Wars helmets there. And a little more to the right are a fair amount, and higher are a fair amount of Target figures, Star Wars, Marvel, also some DC stuff going on there. You know, the Superman versus Batman, Wonder Woman era from a few years ago. Also fairly recent Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more Avengers. Now, in the last video, we actually missed a few things in the other room, so we're going to go back into the other room before we complete this video. Now, up above the World's Greatest Heroes figures, we have the lowest thing are more Target figures, variations of Spider-Man cartoon ones, as well as Avengers. More Jack specific figures, so those are the 31-inch ones. We have a couple different two different red Power Rangers from different, you know, versions of the show, and the Black Ranger. Then we have Superman from I don't remember which movie, but I think that's a movie Superman, and then the next one is the more classic Superman, and Batman from Batman versus Superman, and then the Dark Knight version of Batman. Then above them is the 12-inch 90s era Luke Skywalker on a speeder bike, as well as a large Jack-specific Mario figure. Then coming back down and over here, these are also 12-inch figures that are larger versions of the 4-inch Micronauts series. They weren't really super popular here, but in Japan they were a big thing, and I had a bunch of the little figures, you know, from the 70s and 80s when I was a kid, and then I just came across these on eBay and I thought they were really cool. And then there's also, unfortunately, the box got a little wet, but he's one of the bad guys, and he's got a cool Japanese demon face on his chest. I mean, who would not love that? That's scary. Okay, one last thing. I'm a big movie buff also, and Pacific Rim is one of my favorite recent sci-fi movies. And these are all of the 24-inch, and the glare is pretty bad on that, but these are the 24-inch Pacific Rim figures, and I think I have all the ones that were available. And these are all the Jaegers, which are the giant robots that fight the kaijus, which are the giant monsters. There's two different versions of Gypsy Danger. One is battle damaged, and then on the very end there is a kaiju, but there's no window on the box, so you can just imagine Knife Head being there at 24-inch glory. Okay, I've babbled enough for this episode. Thank you for watching Tough Nerd Stuff, and see you next time.